So sensory self-regulated and stimming. If you struggle with sensory, this is a small video, and it could be triggering. So if you are somebody that can't handle the noise and things, please step away from the computer or turn your volume down, okay? And we wanted to share this. The students picked this because it's how a neurotypical person handles sensory versus somebody with autism. And so here's the video. Pretty intense, right? So imagine a student in the classroom, and Sloan said this earlier, she has bionic hearing. That girl can hear somebody's high heels all the way down the hall. She can hear people talking a couple rooms over. Many of the students can hear the white noise in the lights. They can hear people crumbling their papers, chewing, moving around in the desk, shifting, all trying to self-regulate while trying to take in information from a lecture. So if we're experiencing something like this, which this is really heightened sensory overload, and we're trying to take in information in a lecture, we're probably going to miss some stuff. So, it's important to understand signs of sensory overload. And I'm going to just leave this. I'm not going to go through these because, again, we're out of time. But I do want to have one of our other students explain her experience with this. Shelby. Could you take it away for me?
Hello, everyone. So my picture is mostly how impactful something is on me. Like extra noise is the extreme uh, the extreme part of what I hear, and it hurts. As you can clearly see, it feels like someone is knocking me in the head. And then the other two sounds are like what my classmates and teachers make, but they're not as impactful, but they still kind of hurt. Meanwhile, the smell, it just really pinches. It like hurts really bad. And then I can always feel whatever I'm wearing. So it's really irritating when like it just but you're always aware of it. So and then sanity is like I read most of the time to help focus myself and keep away from all the other stuff going on. And or else it just drives me crazy. I don't really know what else to say.
No, thank you. That was really good. I appreciate it. So that's just, and Shelby is a great student. Most of the students in here are great students, and they really try very hard to stay engaged. And this is just us letting you know that how difficult it is for people with autism to experience sensory and engage in the classroom and engage in their environments. And it's important for us to learn these things because we want to set them up to be able to handle and self-regulate life beyond us, beyond school, and into the workplace. So if we can help teach them the skills now and how to advocate, then we can help teach them to know what to do in the work world as well. So this is an image from Ellis. Ellis, can you briefly describe what this is? So we're talking about self-regulation.
This is my happy place. Many of you have seen the movie Happy Gilmore. It tells him to go to his happy place. So whenever I'm under a lot of stress, I just picture this. Like something out of a Bob Ross painting, just painting a bunch of happy little trees.
And as, do you have more? Sorry, go ahead.
Not really.
Okay.
It does look like a temple. I've always been fond of East Asian temples.
Ellis has gotten really good grades in Japanese, learning the language. So I want to hear him speak it someday. But this is stuff for self-regulation, right? This is, sometimes you'll see students drawing while there's a lecture going on or doing something else while the lecture is going on. That doesn't mean that they're not paying attention. It means that they're listening and they're learning, but they're helping self-regulate. Oh boy, I hope that does not mean my things would go off. So another self-regulation technique that another student has is riding their horses. And so I'm going to play this video and then Rachel will describe briefly what this is. And we're moving along here, guys. Thank you. If you stay with us, I appreciate it. If you have to go, I get it. But here it goes.
Now look to your left and use your hand and foot. Look straight ahead where you want her to go. Good, Rachel. Sit up straight and tall. All the way to the rail. And look over your right shoulder and ask with your hand and foot. Back to your hip, back to your hip, back to your hip. Keep pulling until she's straight. Good job. Look straight ahead where you want to go. When you look this way, she comes this way. Now go ahead and look, hand and foot. Keep pulling and asking until she gets straight. Good. Good job. All the way to the rail. Then look over your shoulder and ask with your hand and foot.
Okay.
All the way to your hip, 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 hip. Keep pulling till she's straight.
Okay, Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about how this helps you?
So I'm actually one of the best writers. I actually write every week, and I actually write. It depends. I write Bella and Hope. Bella is the brown one, and Hope is the white horse. And I am actually one of the best independent writers they have at the ranch.
I'm trying to move on, sorry. Thank you, Rachel. So I'm going to read a little bit about therapeutic writing for you, for Rachel. So during this amazing process, horses help physically and mentally challenge riders, achieve things that may seem impossible, right? The bond between humans and horses is well known, just like dogs, right? Therapy dogs. I think one of our students had a therapy dog at one time. This bond opens and establishes a trust and communication level that the individual may not have ever known before. As they work with the horse, barriers are removed and they are able to express emotion openly without judgment. So, Rachel, can you read us the benefits real fast?
Better focus, less anxious, voice is lower, and is calm, calms me down. Speech is clear for me after that. I feel better right after that. Horse riding actually calms me down.
So students are learning different ways and methods to self-regulate. And this is a couple of ways for that. We're going to move on to peer supports. Peer supports, as we've kind of talked about before, are crucial. Right now, I'm going to let John take this away. This is his creative piece on peer supports. Go ahead, John. And John is also a recent graduate of ACC.
Hello, beautiful people in the chat crowd. What I'm about to show and talk to you about is a drawing I did and represents how I view why peer support affects us, as well as how the boy in the drawing, who kind of looks like my OC Floyd, but that's beside the point, is sitting alone outside in the lunch table, forlorn, depressed, and weak. We all felt this way, whether it's failing a math test, experiencing the death of a loved one, not fitting in well, waking up on the wrong side of the bed, etc. The boy, I kind of view him as how we mirror ourselves whenever things don't go our way, where they go south or something along the lines. A rain cloud, like the one you see in TV shows, like in cartoons and such, pours down on his head, all over his head, representing the state that he is in, that he's in. When all of a sudden this girl on the right of him, or his left, comes up to him with a halo on her head that represents that she's trustworthy and someone to give him comfort when he's down in his time of need. It's a way to show that how peer support works in a way that whenever we feel all uninspired, discouraged, depressed, or anxious, or all the above, there will be people out there who could be there for you to pick you up and take you out of that darkness and back into the light, and to encourage us to keep moving forward, as they might be also relate to how we're feeling at the moment, and notice that we cannot handle some of the stress on our own, that sometimes we need help from others to get us to where we're going forward and succeed in life. Especially if we're talking like high school and college. If we're going through, if we're still in high school, for those still in high school or still in college, the pressures that we go through, we always need at least someone to help pick us back up. Like, we don't have to be alone. We don't have to go through this alone, and it's okay to have someone help and support you along your journey.
Thank you, John. Are you finished?
Yes. Oh, and by the way,
Mm-hmm.
Courtney says I have a unique art style.
You do.
This isn't my typical art style, but It's more like a comic strip art style I go for.
You do a good job. And thank you for sharing that.